Good morning, Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I've got some very fascinating news, opinions for you guys. I want you to share this video. Share all the videos. Share videos of people you are watching and catching, news bits, other opinion people, everything. Share it. Absolutely share it. We're at an interesting time, and I need to be careful in what I say because I could get the channel removed if I get a little too excited, if I get a little too boisterous, right? If I say something that just happens to offend the right person. And I really believe that my video on patriotism and duty the other day, I thought that was going to get me in some trouble, but guess what? Against my prediction, against everyone's better judgment, that video, which had the word patriotism in the title, had an American flag both in the title and on during the whole video, was monetized. That's right. Apparently now I'm going to get a couple of pennies for that video. YouTube has made it monetized. Why? Because there's people behind the scenes within big tech that are doing all they can. One of them happened to get the ticket for approving or declining my video. Not the computer. The computer always demonetizes my videos. And I asked them to do a manual check, which means a human being, and they get monetized. Interesting. But that one got monetized. Fascinating, no? What I think is that the people that are behind the scenes, that are good people, real Americans working for these tech companies or being subcontractors for them, because I'm sure that with the number of videos that are produced and released by individual creators, I'm a content creator, they have to probably hire subcontractors to go through and review them under their guidelines. Because there's no way Google and YouTube can employ enough people to review every single video that they ask to be reviewed. Now, that tells me we've got some very special things going on. So, and this, where are we at is the question. Shit is going to hit the fan. Where are we at? I've been reading up a lot on this. The impeachment isn't just about political posturing to me. The impeachment isn't some kind of ridiculous political game. This impeachment is critical to our understanding of shit hitting the fan, what we're going to see on the streets, how it's going to roll out. This is the Lexington and Concord moment for shit hitting the fan. The reason I say that, and maybe it's not the Lexington and Concord, but it can be categorized that way. This is the first big shot, a real shot at our country, and I'll get to this. I wrote down a few of my thoughts. 50% of the population in the United States says what Nancy Pants Pelosi, and the Democrats are doing is just fine. They're good with it. Hey, impeach that guy, throw him out of office, arrest him. There's even calls again for assassinating him, and they're fine with it. Fine, that's good. We're perfectly at ease with that. The other 50% say it's wrong. We've got basically half the country for and against. But for and against what? Is it for and against the rule of law? Is it for and against just doing what you want and that government is all powerful? Now, what really is happening right now is they are trying to do a impeachment inquiry without holding a vote. And without holding a vote, several things are left out. Namely, the Constitution and the rules of criminal administration going back to the Magna Carta. That's right, back to when people spoke in Latin And the English, if they spoke it, you wouldn't understand it. That's how far Pelosi is going back. Literally, the Bill of Rights, go back. The Constitution, go back. The Articles of Confederation, go back. Declaration of Independence, throw that out. Go back. All the way to the Magna Carta and throw it away. They have presupposed guilt. You are guilty, President Trump. You're guilty because they say so, right? All rights of the accused are denied because of their hatred and their prejudicial belief system and their desire to have what they believe upheld, right? They've denied the basic rights to know what you're charged with, to view the facts, to call witnesses, to cross-examine witnesses, to have public exposure to all facts and documents. This is for the president, shit hitting the fan. Where we're at right now in this process is a demonstration of why we're going to have shit hitting the fan. It has to, it's going to, and it will be extremely bad. If they're willing to do this to the President of the United States, love him or leave him, Donald J. Trump. It's up to you whether you like him or not. But if they take his rights and just trample them, as well as his government attorney, his personal attorney, the entire administration, the executive branch of the government is now denied right to due process. Think about that. Due process gone. Absolutely, completely gone. This isn't firing a bureaucrat or an appointed judge, right? This is an astounding act. If they're going to do that to the President of the United States, frequently referred to as the most powerful man on the planet, what are they going to do to us? What are they going to do to preppers? What are they going to do to patriots, libertarians, your grandma and grandpa who are Tea Partiers? What are they going to do to the casual Republican? What are they going to do to rhino Republicans? Right? They have planned for us re-education and extermination camps if they get power. Anyone who supported Trump is just flat-ass evil, neo-Nazi, white supremacist, fascist scum who deserve to be killed under the same guidelines that Trump is being impeached. That is, no trial, no cross-examination, no evidence needed, no witnesses, right? No, nothing public. It's all private. They make a decision in a back room. Any law enforcement that would uphold these arrests or gatherings of bad people are themselves evil. We're going to have a partisan war. See, this isn't about law and order. This isn't about a civil war. There is nothing civil about this when it happens. This will not be civil. This isn't about control of the civil government. This is about the Democrats trying to establish a draconian, lawless government. Essentially, that's what happened with the Bolsheviks. They came in, they murdered the royal family in Russia. They didn't hold a trial. They didn't arrest them and decide, what do we do? They didn't vote on it. They just went in and murdered them. They went in and took over. They killed everybody who supported imperialism over the Bolshevik communist revolution back in Russia in the 19-teens, 1917, 18, 19, and the 20. And they continued to murder people all the way up to the end, essentially. But big time for the first 20 years. Big time. Okay, so they're accusing Trump of what? Having a phone conversation and asking another president to do his job. To do not our president's job, but to do his job and cooperate with other countries in matters of investigation and enforcing criminal laws. But they've turned that into some sort of crazy idea of the president exercising his office for a little bit of political influence. That's what they've accused him of. And maybe offering a little bit of money in return. That's what they're accusing him of. How is that worse than what they're prescribing as we speak? What actions they're taking as we speak? It is way worse what they're offering in response to what they're accusing the president of. But see, well, how about if we do this? How about if they accuse the president of committing witchcraft? He's a warlock. He's a sorcerer practicing the black arts. Could they take the president out of office, accuse him, not give him a trial, no witnesses, no facts, no witnesses of his own, no public? They could do this in private and accuse the president of being an evil sorcerer and then take him out and hang him. What is there to stop them, the Democrats, from doing this? The same things that aren't stopping them now from doing what they're doing, right? You can totally expose what they're doing by creating an asinine situation, putting the president in it, and it has the same result. Once you remove all of these rights that go way back to the Magna Carta, once you remove those rights, you can accuse anyone of anything and convict them and sentence them, literally, to any punishment. And it doesn't matter. What difference does it make anymore? That was a question Kaz asked at the Fourth Dimension channel. Check his channel out. Check everyone's channels out. Spread the word. What is going on is a total totalitarian, authoritarian. It just goes beyond the pale. If they can do this to the president, what will they do to you? What will they do to me and people like me? People like you. People that work hard, pay their taxes. They just happen to have an opinion that doesn't agree with the Democrats. What can you be accused of? How many Hispanic, Mexican immigrants that are legal, Canadian immigrants that are legal, anyone who is any color other than white, how can they be called white supremacists? Well, they are. All you have to do is support Trump at any point. They can go back on your social media. They can go back on your search and view history and determine, well, you must support Trump if you're watching these news things, right? They could look at, what are you registered to vote as? If you're not a Democrat, even if you're registered as an independent or a libertarian especially, or anything other than Democrat, they can arrest you. You get no trial, right? You get an accusation that's vague. You get no witnesses, no jury of peers. They just arrest you, throw you in a re-education camp, and exterminate you if you don't respond properly or quick enough. This is the shit, it's the fan chaos that is being laid out for us by the Democrats right now. And instead of coming after us, the people, the evil government, call it the deep state, call it the Illuminati, call it what you will, the evil government is going after the top. They're absolutely going after the top. Don't inhale coffee. Strong recommendation. They're going to take this country down from the top. And they're showing us that they're not afraid. In a lot of ways, this is very similar to what happened to John F. Kennedy, President of the United States. He was the top. And he opposed the military-industrial complex, the CIA, the mafia. He opposed the bureaucracy. He opposed the Federal Reserve. And he was assassinated, broad daylight, headshot. Took him out. Covered it up. Labeled anyone who opposed it as conspiracy theorists. If they can take out Kennedy, they will try and take out Trump. But while they take out Trump in this manner, They also take out the entire Constitution. Like I said, they also take out the Bill of Rights. They take out the Declaration of Independence. They wipe it clean. Within the Declaration of Independence is the word duty. It is your right and your duty to overthrow a government that violates our rights. They're calling, by doing this to the president, the Democrats, Pelosi, Chucky Chuck Schumer, Adam, my eyes are bugging out of my head Schiff. They're calling for a civil war. They're trying to antagonize us, everyone else in America. They're trying to antagonize us into a violent response to what they're doing. And if we do not respond violently, they will come after us. One way or the other, this is going to happen. And I guarantee we won't go after them with weapons. I guarantee it. I'm not. Now, the bikers may ride on Washington, D.C. armed, and truckers may roll into D.C. and be armed even. But they won't go there and march up the steps in Congress or across the lawn on Pennsylvania Avenue at the White House with their arms and demand anything. What's going to happen is the government, after they are done dealing with Trump, they're going to come after us. We are next. If they can get rid of the president and at the same time sweep away all law, including the Magna Carta, if they can sweep that all away, what's to stop them from doing what they want with us? This call for extermination camps, this call for re-education camps, concentration camps for Republicans, for anybody that isn't a socialist, right? All of us old fucks that don't want their New Deal. If they can do it to the president, they're going to do it to us. You have to get ready for what is coming. This entire system is taking such an awful turn. I thought it's going to be terrorists. Little did I know it would be terrorists who are elected officials. Little did I know that these terrorists that are going to cause shit to hit the fan are in the bureaucracy. And not all bureaucrats are evil. No, just the evil bureaucrats are evil. And what do I mean by that? Who do you think is going to administrate an extermination and re-education camp? Bureaucrats. Who is going to stand at the gate? Make you go from here to there, punish you. It'll be law enforcement that are evil. Half of them are good, right? Because they're socialist. I mean, half of them are good because they're libertarian and they love peace and they want law and order. And the other half want to use the iron fist because they're political democratic socialists. And they would be glad, they would be more than happy to take a job at an extermination camp because they need to feed their family, you see. They need a paycheck. So they're willing to violate every human right because they need a paycheck. You see how that excuse works? They're just following orders. But it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I need you guys to support this channel by watching the videos and sharing the videos, clicking the like button, passing the word on. This has taken a turn that is off the hook. I did not expect to see this type of thinking. I mean, you can hear it from one person or this idiot over there or that ridiculous group like Antifa. You can expect that. But when it comes from the highest levels of our federal government, where they propose and start acting on a complete case of lawlessness under the color of law, meaning they're trying to give it the appearance of being legitimate. That's the color of law. When the government or an agent acts under the color of law, it is their position, their uniform, their badge, their title, whatever it is they have, and they're saying, this is lawful. That's the color of law, and it's completely unlawful. Not to mention illegal and unconstitutional. But the law, right? The law. That's what created things like the Magna Carta and the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Those were safeguards to force government to accept and agree to obedience, to a standard that is logical and in line with nature, natural law. That is what all of these rules are about. What will work and work well for time to keep evil out of control, to keep evil chained up. That's what these laws and rules are supposed to be about, and they are disregarding all of them, wiped off the table. If they can do this to the president, if they can just take him away, and as what Maxine Waters said, lock him up in solitary confinement, once again, it's not just a stupid wacko like Maxine Waters. What a fucking retard. It's not just her, it's all of them have this belief. It's just Maxine Waters at least has the spine to say it out loud, to take her ridiculous notions of lawlessness and tell everyone exactly what the rest of them are thinking. On the streets, Antifa will hit you in the head with a bicycle lock attached to the end of a chain and brain you and then kick you in the head and the chest and the stomach and the gonads while you lay on the ground. That's what they'll do. There is no trial. There is no proper accusation. There is no violation of a law. It's their opinion, and that's all they need. This is where we're at. John, you're a reactionary moron. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an alarmist. This is fear porn. Is it? You need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan, I say. That's what I say. You're crazy, John. We don't need those things. Everything's fine. As everything gets torn down right in front of our eyes. They might as well take a stack of duplicates of the Constitution and the real one itself and just torch the fucking thing on the steps of the Congress. Because that's what Pelosi has just done. If we have no protections for legitimate elected executive officials, namely the President of the United States, if he has no protections under the law, any law going back for 800 years, what right do you think you have? If they can do this to him, what will they do to us? Once again, am I out of line? Am I overreactionary? Am I crazy? I'm not crazy. I'm the one saying, sure, you want to impeach him? Let's see the evidence. Where's your witnesses? Let's examine it. So now I'm going to bring up, right, they're not doing that. They're sweeping everything away. So now the question we have to ask, and I'll try and make this as brief as possible to end this video at the 30-minute mark, is why? Why are they doing this? Why now? Why so drastic? Why prescribe a complete destruction of everything we've got and introduce ideas like the Green New Deal as the new government structure? Why do that now? Why now? Why now? Why all of a sudden? Why so quickly? They need to get Trump out of office. They don't see themselves winning in the 2020 election. They have flown every test balloon they can, including bringing Hillary back, and nobody wants to vote for it. Nobody wants them. They can't beat Trump. Even if we go into a massive depression and recession, Trump still is most likely to win. Because the radicalness of the left is so radical and wrong. I'm sure they're still going to get 45% of the vote or 40% of the vote. But they're losing the black vote, they're losing the Hispanic vote, they're losing the Asian, they're losing all the votes. They're losing a lot of the moderate thinkers, in other words, because they're so radical. So why are they doing this now? Everything that they're doing wrong on the left as individuals, they are doing what? They're projecting that onto President Trump. Everything they're accusing Trump of, they are guilty of. As we go along, it is becoming more evident that Joe Biden, the #1 Democrat candidate For real? Ex-Vice President Joe Biden is what? He's taken bribe money. He's used his office to force other governments to make decisions, put pressure on them, right? He's taken bribes. He's involved in nepotistic business deals, right? What else has he done? We've known about Uranium One, a complete scandal involving Hillary Clinton and the selling of United States uranium reserves. Nobody is convicted. Is it possible, however unlikely, but is it possible that we might actually start seeing arrests? And there's been a call for this since Trump's been elected, I know. And it's frustrated me to no fucking end, waiting for someone to get arrested. And believe me, I don't want to buy pom-poms and do a ridiculous cheering dance in front of the camera for you guys if they actually arrest these high-level people. But I'll be good to my word. Or I'll make pom-poms. Anyways, is it possible that they were about to be exposed for what they're doing, and that is why they're having to take such extreme actions? Remember when I talked about scorched earth? If they arrest Hillary, they will burn it to the ground. They will cause a war. They will cause a false flag terror action to take down our infrastructure. They'll close the banking system. They'll burn the Constitution and take over and try and have a coup d'etat. That is the type of scorched earth policy they have if they are exposed and they're going to be arrested. Could it be that they are going to be arrested? And that is why they're going to the extreme and saying, fuck it, let's destroy the Constitution. We have evidence now that the banking system is illiquid and could fail. All they have to do is stop their ridiculous measures to try and make everything look all right. And just take all that away and let the banking system fail like it did in '08. Another Lehman Bear Stearns whoops, which should have also included Goldman Sachs and every other major Bank of America, Wells Fargo, etc., etc., etc. It won't just be a countrywide and Wachovia issue. It'll be massive. They could let it fall and burn. They could stop propping it all up. Could it be that these arrests are going to happen and so they are going to this extent? Now, my other question is, why aren't they going faster? Why didn't they just say, let's have a hearing and take a vote and that's it? Bam, impeached. I mean, if they're going to be stupid, might as well go all the way. Or are they going to try and drag this kangaroo court impeachment and use the press to hide the facts, to censor opposition, and continue to tell the people, oh, we're doing this fine. We're going to get, we're going to get rid of the president. We're going to impeach him and have it take as long as possible to drag it on so that it influences the election. But what if they start arresting Bidens and Hillarys? What if they go grab Barack Obama and say, you committed some serious crimes. We have lots of evidence. We have witnesses that have signed affidavits swearing to your guilt, and you can examine that. They'll be made public, right? They're going to be unsealed. We're going to have real trials. We're going to have all of these criminal trials. What do you think the left would do? Would they say, fuck it, and cause a false flag? Would the Antifa extreme leftists go haywire, violent on the streets in our neighborhoods as a response to a mass arrest of powerful people? Of course, if the Attorney General's office and the Department of Justice made mass arrests of the Susan Rices and the Loretta Lynches and the Obamas and the Clintons and the Bidens, if they made mass arrests of these people, like the Comeys and the bureaucrats, right, and the Brennans and the Ruby Rod Rosensteins, right, if they arrested them, what would that do to the election? The entire country would go, what happened? They just arrested all the Democrats. Of course, the Democrats would accuse Trump of arresting his political opponents in order to win the election. Totally illegal. They could cause that. That would cause a revolt, a coup. But what we're literally seeing right now is a coup d'etat and a destruction of all law. Is shit going to hit the fan, folks? Am I way off on this? Is everything just fine? Oh, sure, I got gas. The lights are on. Yeah, food in the store. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong at all. Go back to 1930s Germany. Their lights were on. They had food on the shelves. Their economy was booming, in fact. The highest German stock market, blah, blah, blah. Everything was great in Germany, Nazi Germany in the 1930s, as they arrested their political opponents, as well as Jews, the Romani, and any other group they didn't like. Everything was just fine in Germany as they completely threw out all law and went after their political opponents and people they hated. Put them in concentration camps, re-education camps, and extermination camps. Everything's fine in Nazi Germany of the 30s. Because look at all the support for the Fuhrer. Yeah, we get President Biden. Everyone loves him. Look at the fake polls. I mean, look at the polls. You see what I'm saying? If they take control, if they destroy our Constitution and rules and take control, you bet propaganda is just going to be in our face. They're going to tell us how everyone approves of this. So if you oppose it, you must be a stranger, a weirdo, an illegal criminal element that must be destroyed. And trust me, in Nazi Germany, they did have a turn in your neighbor. You get a reward. People will turn you, me, us in. It is going to be shit, it's the fan. The one difference is, as Americans, we have our weapons, our Second Amendment right. And trust me, after this happens, people are going to do what they want with their weapons. They're going to carry them openly with 30-round magazines on the street as they go about their regular business as a means of protection against themselves and an ongoing effort over the next several years, maybe decades, of these leftists still being alive and wanting to do what? To destroy this country. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. What is going on, folks? What do you think? Semper Fi. Godspeed.